As I'm sure many of you have heard, an audio recording of former President Donald Trump was released by CNN yesterday. On the tape, you hear Trump discussing classified documents with someone who didn't have security clearance to view them. The conversation took place at his New Jersey golf club in 2021 after he had left the White House. Let's listen to a portion of the audio recording where you can hear Trump discussing that document in question. Take a look.
Well, with Millie, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him.
In another portion of the tape, Trump is heard admitting that the document is classified and that he had not declassified it while he was president. Take a listen.
I think we can probably, right?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to figure out
yeah. See, as president, I could have declassified it. Now I can't, but this is classified.
Now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So Trump has responded on social media saying, quote, the deranged special prosecutor Jack Smith, working in conjunction with the DOJ and FBI, illegally leaked and spun a tape and transcript of me, which is actually an exoneration rather than what they would have you believe, end quote. So for more on this, we are joined by civil rights attorney and legal analyst Areva Martin. Areva, thank you so much for being here. We need to hear your clarification of what exactly is happening.
Yes, Sam, I love how Donald Trump says this is an exoneration of him.
Right.
He is the master of spinning. We heard with our very own ears him admit that he did not have the ability to declassify a document since he obviously was no longer president in 2021. We also heard him talking about General Milley showing him this document, him showing it to people that is clear he knew did not have clearance to have access to this document, but yet he wants us to put all of that aside and agree with him that somehow this exonerates him. That is just the ultimate in gaslighting. Nothing about that audio tape exonerates Donald Trump. If anything, it solidifies the case that the special counsel has put together against Donald Trump.
So now that you've broken down the audio for us, let's talk about the idea that this was illegally leaked. And also, when speaking to the press in this fashion, by saying it's off the record, does that mean it's off the record?
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We don't really know who he's talking to when he's saying it's off the record, but we're all journalists here, so very few things said to a journalist are off the record. And as to this tape being illegally leaked, again, we don't know that. That's just Donald Trump, narrating his own version of events. We don't know where this tape came from. We don't know who put it out into the universe, how CNN got access to this tape. So we can't believe anything that Donald Trump said in that social media post because there are no facts to back it up. There's no evidence to suggest that he even himself knows who may have made this tape available.
So the media is saying this is the smoking gun. That's finally going to get Donald Trump, right? We've heard this in the past multiple times. In your opinion, do you think this will be the smoking gun?
I think this is a critical piece of evidence that the special counsel has gained access to and that will be used at his trial. I think it's irrefutable what he's doing on that tape, and jurors like this kind of evidence. So to be able to play this tape at a trial for jurors to hear what Donald Trump was thinking, what he was doing in real time in that moment, I think is going to be very powerful. So I would say this is one of many smoking gun pieces of evidence that we should expect to be used in the trial against him.
Well, that sounds damning, but Areva, I see a lot of people saying it's just going to get thrown out, and you say the jurors will want to hear that. So what are the chances that that will get thrown out of court, especially if this was, as Trump claims, illegally leaked?
It's not clear. Obviously, if the prosecutors have engaged in egregious misconduct by leaking evidence, the court will take some kind of action. It might be a sanction. against those prosecutors involved in it. But again, we don't have any evidence that that is what happened in this case. But the chances of this entire case being dismissed and Donald Trump not being held accountable for the mishandling of classified documents, I don't think that's going to happen.
Wow.
All right, we have just about a minute left, so I want to get your thoughts on this. What are the chances that this makes it to trial before the election starts? He is the Republican frontrunner, and I think that might be the best chance for him.
Yeah, we know that the judge has already set July 14th, I believe it is, for some pretrial motions to begin. And she says this case can get tried before we get to the election in 2024. I'm hopeful that this case will go to trial because I think jurors as well as voters will need to know what the outcome of this case is, as particularly voters as they go to the polls in 2024.
Wow. Thank you, Areva Martin, for answering all of our questions. DBL Nation, be sure to check out Areva Martin on her social media at Areva Martin. You'll get to see her recent post where she's accepting her 2 tellies.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. Congratulations, girl.